the flash fill is a feature in a cell that senses a pattern in a cell and applies the same logic to other cells. Now, before now, you must have seen where I autofill and I use the word autofill. All right. Over time, I've used the word autofill. I don't type on every cell. I just autofill, and that is the importance of flash fill. That is as a result of flash fill. I'll be looking at it in depth now. Okay, so examples of flash fill, we have extract test from. Okay, so extract test from cell, and this is called the split column. We want to split certain column. We have a product code, and the product code is 122 1025 637 AXX. All right, and then 322 1336 582 FGV. Let's assuming you are given a set of data that contains product details and you are asked to separate each of information for a more visual interpretation. Okay, so to do this, we follow a pattern by teaching a cell on what to do. So I'll start out by 122, that's a pattern, but it is not entirely 322. You could see the autofill, which is called the flash fill, all right, in a cell has identified the pattern in the data. So after typing the first number, you type in the second number just to give it teach a cell on what to do. All right, enter. Now you another way you can flash fill other than just drop down using the drop down, you could come to the data tab and then autofill. All right, it says we've looked at all the data next to your selection and this is a pattern for filling in values for you. To use flash fill, enter a couple of examples of the output and all that. So another way you could do that is by highlighting, all right, highlighting your tests, highlighting your data, and then Control E, which is a flash fill, and you could see that it has taken every of the pattern easily. So you could see all the details are there. Okay, so assembly code AXS AXS. Okay, so that is a pattern. If we click on enter and let's try typing the other FG, you could see the autofill function is there already. What if it is not there? What do you do? Okay, so that is for extract test from cell. Let's look at other examples. Okay, we have this set of data. It says combine data from several cells, and this is called merge column. All right, so we look at split column. We want to look at now merge column. It says you have your customers first and last names in separate columns. In this example, column B and C, you desire to have the first and last name in one column. The old method would be to concatenate the names into the new column and copy it down, but with flash fill you can do it seamlessly. If you remember, when we did concatenate, I told you we used the and, so you select this and then you use the ampersand symbol, select that and then use the ampersand symbol to do that, to join them both, and then enter Mary Johnson. Can you see it now? Back then this is what we use. All right, you could use, or we use concatenate and then we select test 1 comma test 2, and Mary Johnson is back. But now we won't be using any of that. All we just have to do is teach Excel what to do. So Mary Johnson, enter. All right, Harry, you can see it has followed the pattern, giving space and all of that, and then you just get that. So you could see how you can use the flash fill to combine tests. The shortcut is Control E. Do not forget that. All right, so let's look at other data patterns, other data formats. So format test numbers and dates. All right, we have format test. Now if you remember, it said quite often If you remember, we did for our capital, all right, we did for first to last. Now can we still do for last to first? Now quite often the data in your spreadsheet is formatted in one way while you want it in another way. Just start typing the values exactly as you want them to appear, and flash fill will do the rest. Okay, so what if you don't want to type them in capital letter, you want to type it in small letter? So you could just go ahead and then do that. Johnson. Okay, last first. All right, so Johnson Mary, and then enter Harry Smith. Okay, it hasn't picked the pattern. Bill Rogan. So it hasn't picked the pattern. What do? You just select the cell and then Control E automatically. All right, or we could do it from the top there and then Control E. Okay, it hasn't picked the pattern then. Okay, so let's pick it from the second. It should have picked the pattern. Control E. Okay, let's delete that. All right, delete. So Control E, you can see it has picked the pattern and then filled the information. All right, so another one, let's quickly look at another. It said revert customers names and place them in certain case. All right, we've done. Now here's another. Sometimes data are imported into a cell, maybe disarranged and need to be properly formatted for easily analyzing. With flash fill, you can format this data as phone numbers. Note, the 234 is the Nigerian code. Yes, I had to include that so that you could know that this is the Nigerian code, in case you're watching this course from, you're learning this course from anywhere around the world. Okay, so quickly, that's the Nigerian code, and we want to teach it a pattern. Okay, so that it can be formatted as a number whenever anyone sees it. So 234, put our space 705 9007, and then 623, enter 23. You could see automatically it has filled that. All right, and now you could easily see that it is a number. If I want to change the formatting and say, okay, I need a different formatting, let's do that somewhere else. All right, let's do that next to it. Let's say 123 bracket 234 bracket close, then 705, and then 9007, and then 623, enter, and then we need that pattern again, 234 and 708, then 965, 653, and 432, enter. Let's see if we do. So you could see it has immediately given us the pattern, and we can fill, so auto fill that way. So I've formatted this number in two different formatting. Okay, so let's look at other data. So we've looked at combined data from several cells, which is we've looked at split column, split data, we looked at merged data. We've also examined format, text, numbers, and dates. Okay, we haven't done for date. All right, uh but we can also do for dates. You could also format for dates in patterns. Okay, could also format for dates using these patterns. So format text, numbers, and dates. This is numbers. Let's see, we should have dates by the side. I didn't include that. Okay, let's see. So another way, another thing you could do before we come to clean data, there are other things I'd like us to quickly, you know, attend to. So we did for numbers. Now the next, he said replace part of cell. Okay, replace part of cell. Replacing part of a string with some other text is very common operator in Excel, which flash fill can also do. Say, let's say you have a column of social security numbers and you want to censor this sensitive information by replacing the last four digits with SX. Okay, it's very easy, just 234705900. Now, in the place of say of 7623, say 7XSSS, and then you go down, enter, then 23, you could see autofill, and then you have secured those numbers. Okay, so these and more are what you can do with flash fill. And flash fill is very, very important in Excel because it saves you a lot of time and a lot of effort. Okay, so this is all about flash fill.